Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Lorna Slater has the nickname of Limo Lorna, and not without good reason. She does like a good chauffeuring. And sometimes, indeed, the car goes off without her in it, but it's still her instructions because they've got to go and meet her up somewhere else where she's got to, and then hasn't got a car when she's there, so calls it to go and get her. Anyway, it turns out she's done over 3,000 miles at public expense, and not all of it on official duty, of course. And she's not the worst of it. There are many, many others. So we're going to take a look at this report to see the sort of things that these SNP and Green MPs are doing with the official cars that aren't being used on official business. It's going to be quite anger-inducing for some of you, considering that it's, the public are paying for this. Why can't they pay their own private transport costs? Just goes to show they're all in it for the money. But it seems a bit hypocritical from Lorna and her likes. After all, they're trying to reduce popular car use by 20%. But that's only for the likes of you and me, the oiks, the commoners, the serfs, those elite. Oh, they get to use their car exactly as before. Let's have a look at this article, see why these hypocrites are just stealing rides. Here goes. So, Limo Lorna Slater racks up 3,000 miles in a ministerial car as the Scottish Greens push for fewer vehicles on the road. I know it says less, but I'm saying fewer because I'm not illiterate, unlike the people who write this article in the Scottish Daily Express. The Scottish Greens minister has become well known for enjoying a chauffeur-driven journey, and so do her ministerial colleagues, who are ferried around between their homes and Holyrood, courtesy of the taxpayer. Now that should be at their own expense, but of course it isn't. Lorna Slater has been labelled a hypocrite yet again after it was revealed that she has racked up nearly 3,000 miles being driven around in a ministerial car. And this is despite the Scottish Greens pushing an anti-car agenda, including campaigning against any new road upgrades. Oh, anti-car for us, not anti-car for them. No sirree Bob. And Scottish Government ministers were blasted after using the taxpayer-funded car service to be ferried around between their homes and the Scottish Parliament. And also between their own houses. So, from one house you own to another house you own. Take a bus. The SNP Green administration want to reduce car kilometres by 20% by 2030, but continue to be driven about. Yeah, but only for us. And anyway, nobody wants to reduce car kilometres. Nobody. Because we travel in miles. Do they mean car miles? She's Canadian. That's why that's kilometres. Anyway, Miss Slater has been nicknamed Limo Lorna due to her fondness for chauffeur-driven travel and has used ministerial vehicles dozens of times since being appointed Circular Economy Minister. That's because she doesn't want to get on public transport because, she's better than us and we must accept this. She's racked up 2,939 car miles. Oh, got miles again now, have we? During this time until March 2023. These included a 350-mile round trip to a tree planting centre near Loch Ness, and also being ferried around Aberdeen to go on numerous engagements. That was the one where she was actually in Aberdeen and got the car to drive all the way from Edinburgh, all the way up to Aberdeen, ferry her around, and then sent home alone. Why? Because she was doing a thing with the press and she wanted to be there, to be seen, to be using a train. Meanwhile, this chauffeur driver, it'd have been cheaper to just take the bloody car up the first time. Anyway, there we go, hypocrite. Her recent controversial jolly to Mallaig and back is not included in these figures, so it is well over 3,000 miles. Anyway, her SNP ministerial colleagues all came under fire after using taxpayer-funded limos as a private taxi service to take them between their homes and the Scottish Parliament nearly 500 times in just the first 3 months of 2023. A total of 490 journeys were made to or from a minister's personal address and Holyrood. They need to be billed. Find out what the cost for each journey is, issue them an invoice and say you have 48 hours to pay that. To make matters worse, and here we go, this made me laugh. To make matters worse, they were utilised 20 times to take a minister between their two homes. Definitely got to pay for that. One of the biggest culprits was the drugs and alcohol minister Elena Whittam, who was ferried between her houses in Ayrshire and Edinburgh 7 times. And I'm going to suggest it's because she couldn't drive, because she was so filled to the giddles with drugs and alcohol. Hick, bubble. Bubble with the word hick written on it. Former mental patient, well-being minister Kevin Stewart, I don't know, I could have been right the first time, travelled between Aberdeen and Edinburgh 7 times, while Trades Minister Richard Lockhead had 5 trips between Elgin and the capital. Air Miles Angus Robinson took an official car to get to and from Murrayfield on the 12th of March for a reception at the Scotland versus Ireland rugby match. These aren't official business. They all got to pay. Charge them. And that's not just the charge of the car hire, the petrol and the wages for the chauffeur. Take them with a bill. I tell you, they'll be frit if they seal those bills. We previously told how 12 ministers utilised the ministerial car service to travel back from Nicola Sturgeon's leaving do. This is a party matter, not a governmental matter. At the Gilly Do in Edinburgh. The likes of Humza Yousaf, John Swinney and Shona Robertson were all taken home courtesy of the taxpayer from the lavish party. I can't see why Humza Yousaf needed one. He'd have been sober, of course, unless he was a very naughty Muslim. A recent document published by the Scottish Government revealed that they want to push less car journeys, fewer car journeys, and persuade people to use more public transport. It read, cars can be dangerous, prevent people from being active and cause noise pollution. Oh, not electric cars. They don't, do they? They're clean. They don't cause noise pollution either. Clean in the atmosphere, clean, quiet cars. So that's rubbish. Do they prevent people from being active? No, they don't. This can impact. So they're saying, oh, ban your car for public health. Fuck off. Some people have got fewer transport options. Oh, we've used the correct word this time. Well done, Scottish Daily Express. Such as disabled people and people in rural areas. I live in the countryside. I need a car. Tough. But it should be personal use. Why should they dictate to us? We didn't vote them in for this. I didn't vote them in for any of it, did they? But that's how they feel, anyway. Scottish Tory Transport Secretary Douglas Lumsden said taxpayers will be raising eyebrows and pitchforks and burning torches as to why senior ministers use the limo service to travel between their homes, or why an Edinburgh MP used it for a sporting jolly. The miles accrued by Miss Slater fully expose her brazen hypocrisy, imposing anti-motorist policies on hard-pressed Scots, but having no issue with repeatedly using her ministerial limo. Honestly, she's like the Politburo, isn't it? Get out of the way. They have their own separate road line, so that they, in the big Politburo cars, can drive around better than all the rest. They are the pigs. It's 1984, and they are the pigs. Hugh Bladen of the Alliance of British Drivers told the Mail on Sunday, it's ridiculous. They want to make it more difficult for us to use them, while they're very happy to be driven about all over the place in their own cars paid for by the taxpayer. It would be difficult to find a more clear-cut example of one rule for us and another for the rest of you. They are more equal. They are the ones with their snouts well and truly ensconced in the public trough. Every one of them. Porkers, one and all. The Scottish Government said ministers are entitled to use government car service for all journeys which have as their principal purpose the performance of their duties, i.e. government business. Not party business, not going away on jollies, not running your home. Ministers aim to be using more sustainable forms of transport wherever possible. Fine. Issue them with a bus card. Issue them with a train ticket card. The train travel pass. Things like that. Make them use the public transport they're foisting on us. They'll soon change their tunes, and let me tell you then, the buses will run on time. Anyway, I'm going to round off here and come up. It is just hypocrisy, but it also goes deeper than that. It goes to show the absolute arrogance these people have, and the way they think that they are better. They'll look at us. We'll tell you, you can't use your car. We'll get you off your cars. We'll make life so hellish for you. Meanwhile, I will sit in the back of a big luxury car being driven everywhere, to the shops, to me house, to me other house, at public expense. Needs to stop. They need to be billed. Whoever comes in, let's say Labour come in next time, they need to go back and say we are issuing these bills to everyone who uses it for non-governmental purposes, and then issue them. And if they don't pay, take them to court, bankrupt them. Do it. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see and hear on the channel, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and always buy your own bus ticket. Bye.